Στις διαφάνειες αυτές θα υπάρξει μία
In these slides, I will take you to a journey through time. The technical specifications of those times and the technical specifications of the servers and the computers and the users back then were quite restricted, quite limited. Connection speeds were low, saving space, saving capacity was small. So the whole situation was rather suffocating. So we had to rely on the teachings of our father Porphyrius, Saint Porphyrius, who was always recommending to study the scriptures, take part in the liturgical life, chant, study and interpret the Psalms, and through the day he was recommending that we should work and study, and our entertainment and education should be studying the scriptures. The outcome of that the first work, which was first published in summer 2004 in a free of charge server, as you can see up here. And the domain that was purchased, actually, we only the name was purchased, and then it was redirected to the professional space, which is granted free of charge with these working parameters. The requirements, as you see here, were digitalization of the printed material that we had available in our personal library, the organization of this dispersed material, the rediscovery of classical works of art and orthodoxy. So actually, these were the parameters that we used. The texts were simple text without multimedia, audio, clip or video, because back then video viewing was very difficult. Another requirement was the polytonic writing, that is with all types of accents, Oxia, Varia, and so on. The platform had to use the HTML code, and the view had to be of the old, the format had to be that of the old liturgical texts, as you can see of the pictures. That is ochre in the background to simulate the old paper, porphyr, and ink. Those were the materials, exactly the same that were used in the old manuscripts and older publications. There were also some limitations that were involved in developing this website. So no useless decoration, no other fonts, no advertisements, although there have been such proposals for the maintenance of the website. So no advertisements, no announcements, no articles on news, not links to any institutions, not any links to news agencies, of course. There were no softwares there was no software for social networking, and of course there was no requirement for the copying of the content. Let's have a look at the statistics. The result, the outcome of this personal work, which was something like blessed embroidery back then, was a very good yield, both in terms of the number of files and also in terms of the size of the website. But then we see that different additions have followed certain subjects of the website manufacturer, and as the requirements went up, new additions were down. But there is a tenfold proliferation of data volume, but they were not incorporated as end products because there was stagnation in correcting the polytonic texts. Now, two more efforts in the same spirit. This website, papadiamantis.org, which was also mentioned before by another speaker. Another website, which is a personal work, but all errors have been removed, so all technical error obstacles have been overcome here in terms of the polytonic system. So the effort acquired a different prospect when the Porphyrios.gr website was uploaded as a digital library with pictures, texts, books, articles, photographs from different places, Orthodox pilgrimage places, icons of saints, and also sound clips with sermons recorded and so on. And it's a great number. In terms of the pictures, which was the first part of the processing, we have dozens of thousands with very high resolution. There are lots of texts, books, video clips. The capacity here is hundreds of billions of characters. The prospect was for 10 or 12 times higher, larger space, larger capacity for the digital content. Now, for the first time, we are going to formulate in public some words that had been spoken at the school age, which we had not understood back then. But later on, guided by God's grace, we saw those efforts bringing fruit. Our father, Saint Porphyrios, has seen that there is insufficient understanding of the liturgical texts, and he has foreseen that there would be the official state would reduce teaching of the ancient Greek. That was something he had predicted, and he had also predicted that there would be an attempt to translate the scriptures and the hymns, and his assessment was that there would be a downgrading and reduction of the prestige of what was said. And actually, he said that it's better if people see them in front of their eyes, written in detail. Then started writing the Credo and Our Father and other prayers for the schools in order for them to pronounce them, in order for kids to pronounce them correctly. First, we created a website with the liturgical texts, the Holy Bible and liturgical texts. This work now has more than 6,000 leaflets after more than 2 decades. It's fully editable, of different origins. We have manuscripts, old publications or new publications, and techniques have been improvised in order to digitalize these texts as much as possible, but at the end they have to be edited by a human. There has to be an editor to correct any errors. Let me, since we mentioned the words of Father Porphyrios, actually he had predicted the future growth of the Internet already at the end of the 80s, even before having any expectation or scientific reference to the current possibilities. He had said, well, it will be very nice when the computers will be able to speak with one another. Actually, he was talking about the connection among computers and the possibility to take advantage of such such a prospect. And here I'm referring to the development of new platforms, that is, new smartphones and tablets, and how these applications can be combined to the liturgical text. So this is a publication by the monastery of St. Porphyrios with the whole Holy Bible and liturgical texts, and with all corrections made by the competent synodic committees. These are two indicative examples, two screens from this application for mobile phones. And eventually, later on, we may be able to speak of a discussion forum addressed to the Psaltic Society and priests, but also all the faithful, with these sections that are shown here. And here I have the honor to be one of the coordinators, the moderators for the liturgical texts section. Thank you.